Ranch Buffet. Carry out, delivery, or buffet. Make your daydream come true and order the country's best chicken today.
KCSI FM, Valeska, Red Oak, Glenwood, and Emerson. KOAK AM, Red Oak, Stanton, Clarinda, and Griswold. Thanks for depending on us for the latest news and weather here on today's best country, Country Sunshine Radio.
This Fox News Network World and National News Update brought to you each day at this same time on KCSI KOAK Radio as a service of Rogers Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, 104 South Broadway in Red Oak, 623-2895.
What will be the cost of Russia's war in Ukraine? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The implications for the U.S. economy are highly uncertain, and we will be monitoring the situation closely.
And Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell just told a House hearing the Fed will raise interest rates this month to deal with surging inflation. President Biden acknowledged in his State of the Union the toll it's taking on Americans.
I get it. That's why my top priority is getting prices under control.
He's releasing more oil from the Strategic Reserve with the price of oil surging up 5% today. And moments ago, as the president left the White House to head to Wisconsin to tout his agenda, he was asked if the U.S. would stop buying Russian oil.
Nothing is off the table.
Now, the president did not impress his critics with his speech last night. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal's live in Washington.
Dave, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds gave the Republican response, and while she mentioned inflation and foreign policy, she said COVID policies really hurt Americans.
What happened and is still happening to our children over the last 2 years is unconscionable.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell told Fox's America's Newsroom the president's stated goals represented more of the same.
I don't think anything the president said last night is likely to deal effectively with raging inflation.
McConnell said while Biden campaigned as a moderate, as president, he's pushing Senator Bernie Sanders' agenda. Dave.
Jessica, the president also last night praised Ukrainians for fighting the Russian invasion.
Their fearlessness, their courage, their determination literally inspires the world.
And while Russia attacked several cities today.
Here to the far west, Lviv, another shipment of AK-47s has arrived, and once again, the line of volunteers willing to pick up a gun stretches around the building as so many people are eager to join the fight.
Fox's Mike Tobin, 2,000 Ukrainian civilians have been killed, 874,000 have fled the country. The UN is getting ready for a vote to reprimand Russia. America's listening to Fox News.
This view was worth a hike.
Right? And it's a good way to stay on top of my health.
Yes, I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. Have you screened for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. It's more treatable when caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and it's used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit Cologuard.com.
I'm in.
The nation's first primaries were held in Texas, setting up what could be a closely watched race for governor this fall. Fox's Gernal Scott.
Governor Greg Abbott easily outdistanced a number of Republicans in his quest for a third term in Austin, denying Democrats.
We will not let them win this state.
Democrat and former Congressman Beto O'Rourke's win was just as easy, and he set his sights on the incumbent.
We've got to get past the incompetence, the corruption, and the cruelty of Greg Abbott.
And now, as far as a couple of other races, Attorney General Ken Paxton, a Republican, is going to have a runoff primary election against George P. Bush. And on the Democratic side, Congressman Henry Cuellar is facing a runoff challenge from progressive Jessica Cisneros. Now, when Republicans are putting together their plan for the midterm elections, they're dealing with some internal bickering.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell told reporters if he becomes majority leader next year, he, in consultation with colleagues, will set the Senate's course.
We will not have as part of our agenda a bill that raises taxes on half of the American people.
McConnell's comment was made in response to a question about Florida Republican Rick Scott's proposed agenda that includes ensuring all Americans pay some income tax. Scott is a member of the Republican leadership team chairing the Senate GOP's re-election operation. McConnell says if Republicans win back the Senate, they will focus on inflation, the border, and crime. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Ketanji Brown Jackson is at the Capitol today. She's President Biden's nominee to replace retiring Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer, the first black woman to be nominated. Now she just met with the Senate's Majority Leader, Democrat Chuck Schumer. On Wall Street, big gains today. The Dow's up 460 points. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Dependability. It is something to think about when it's time to purchase a new home comfort system for your home, and something you've come to expect from Rogers Plumbing and Heating. Dependability means a dealer who's in your community ready to provide fast, convenient, reliable service. Dependability comes in the products they offer, like a recognized name brand like Rude. One way to be sure you'll get good, dependable service is to contact your neighborhood Rude dealer, Rogers Plumbing and Heating, 623-2895. It's time to celebrate reading with Read Across America. The Country Sunshine Radio Read Across America program will be Wednesday, March 2nd at 10:05 a.m. You can hear it on KCSI 95.3 FM, KOAK 1080 AM, or watch the event live or at your convenience from your home, classroom, or library on the KCSI Radio YouTube channel with our guest readers from the Red Oak Altrusa Club. Read Across America is presented on KCSI KOAK Radio by Swick, Better Equipment in Clarinda, Fairway Meat and Grocery in Red Oak, Subway, Red Oak, Shan, Clarinda, and Glenwood, Houghton State Bank, Aiken Building Center, and Doctors Ports and Wade. Read Across America on Country Sunshine Radio, Wednesday, March 2nd, 10:05 a.m. Listen on the radio or watch it on the KCSI Radio YouTube channel.
And it is time for Read Across America. Thanks to everyone watching and listening. I would remind people if they would send a photo of themselves, either listening or watching, that then there will be an opportunity for them to win some books from Altrusa. So, very good. Jen Bruce with us this morning. Jen, good morning to you.
Good morning, Aaron.
How are you this morning?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Really nice to see you this morning.
Good to see you, too.
And your very patriotic Dr. Seuss hat.
Yes, of course, for Read Across America and Dr. Seuss.
Altrusa, how long have you been involved with Altrusa?
I have been involved with Altrusa about 12 years, I believe.
All right. Also this morning, we have Monica Blay. Good morning, Monica.
Good morning, Aaron.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You're looking a little more Irish this morning with that.
I went for the Green Bay Packer look here.
Oh, okay. Let's go with that. How long have you been involved with Altrusa?
3 years now, I believe.
Okay. And also this morning, we have Jane Waltz. Jane, good morning to you.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Not too bad.
And Jane has the red and blue Dr. Seuss hat on this morning. Jane, tell me what it is that's special about books and reading and education.
Well, of course, some of you know, I worked for the school for 34 years, and I was in the media center 20-some years, and I love children's books, and I always have loved children's books.
Absolutely. Involved with Altrusa as well?
For about 10 years.
Okay. So, but it's a great organization.
It is. It's wonderful.
All right. Where do we want to start, Jen? When Jen's around, I'm always a little nervous. I had my headset on over here, and she's telling me to sit in the floor. I don't know.
I was just seeing if you could sit down on the floor like I was used to for 22 years and pretend like you're a little child, so then we wouldn't be nervous at all. It's all this stuff and microphones that make us a little nervous.
Oh, me too. So, me too. But we'll get there. I think we're doing okay so far.
Yes.
Tell me, just give me the 30,000-foot view of what Altrusa does.
So Altrusa, our main focuses are community service, of course, and literacy is our main goal. So we do a lot of things in the community with literacy. We try to promote literacy. Some of the things that you may have seen around town, but you don't know where they came from. The Little Free Library that's located on the square was put there by and monitored by our Altrusa Club. And that is a library where you can go get books. They're free. You can put books that you've read and donate them there, so you can, it's in and out whenever you would like to at your free will.
All right.
Reading Rangers is a project that we just recently did a year during COVID, actually, which was a perfect time for that project to come to light. That is on the trail in Red Oak. There are signs all around the trail, and as you walk with your children, or with we have it by the school, so the teachers can walk over there with their classes. There are signs that with little activities for them to do along the way, so it makes it a little more exciting. Young moms can get in their walks and still entertain their children along the way, and we're sneaking in a little bit of literacy.
Absolutely.
We also have several Altrusa members that are tiger readers at Inman Primary that go in and listen to kids read or read to children. And then we try to make book donations every year. Last year 2 years ago we did the new daycare. Last year we did Sunshine and Rainbows. And this week, actually, we just gifted preschool, kindergarten, and first grade. They each got a book to take home.
Start kids, young folks reading at a young age.
Absolutely.
And hopefully that continues with them through their life.
Yes.
Lifelong readers and learners along with that.
Absolutely. We've also gifted brand new babies born, well, not born at our hospital anymore, but born into our community gifts. So we want to get them reading and exposed to reading as early as possible.
This is the second year we've done this live.
It is.
I mean, Read Across America has been around a long time, but the second year we've done it like this, and thanks to folks watching, we appreciate it.
Yes.
Where do we want to start this morning? Do we have an order?
We do.
I'm just kind of sitting back and running the buttons here. That's what I'm doing.
You just be a good listener,
Okay,
Aaron,
I
and
will.
we're just going to read some stories to you.
So where are we going to start?
So I'm going to begin, and I am going to read I Can Read With My Eyes Shut. So all of you that are listening and watching, you can get that book out in your classrooms or daycares, wherever you are. Maybe you're at home and just want to sit back and watch and listen. But I'm going to read this one, and I'll try to show the pages also the best that I can in case you don't have the book.
Okay.
So this one is I Can Read With My Eyes Shut by Dr. Seuss, of course. I can read in red. I can read in blue. I can read in pickle color, too. Pause for one moment, please.
And glasses are a great thing when you're reading.
I can read in bed and in purple and in brown. I can read in a circle and upside down. I can read with my left eye. I can read with my right. I can read Mississippi with my eyes shut tight. Mississippi, Indianapolis, and Alleluia too. I can read them with my eyes shut. That is very hard to do. But it's bad for my hat and makes my eyebrows get red hot. So reading with my eyes shut, I don't do an awful lot. And when I keep them open, I can read with much more speed. You have to be a speedy reader because there's so much to read. You can read about trees and bees and knees on trees and bees on threes. You can read about anchors and all about ants. You can read about ankles and crocodile pants. You can read about hoses and how to smell roses and what you should do about owls on noses. Young cat, if you keep your eyes open enough, oh, the stuff you will learn, the most wonderful stuff. You'll learn about fish bones and wishbones. You'll learn about trombones too. You'll learn about Jake the pillow snake and all about Foo-Foo the snoo. You can learn about ice. You can learn about mice. Mice on ice and ice on mice. You can learn about the price of ice. Nice ice for sale, 10 cents a pail. Aaron is enjoying
Great
this
job.
book a lot.
I do. I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
You can learn about sad and glad and mad. There are so many things you can learn about, but you'll miss the best things if you keep your eyes shut. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. You might learn a way to earn a few dollars, or how to make donuts or kangaroo collars. You can learn to read music and play a hut-zut if you keep your eyes open, but not with them shut. If you read with your eyes shut, you're likely to find that the place where you're going is far, far behind. So, that's why I tell you to keep your eyes open wide. Keep them wide open, at least on one side.
There you go. That is, I can read with my eyes shut.
Thank you for being a great listener.
Absolutely. That's what I do, Jen.
You just take me back to the days with Allie.
Yeah.
She was a great listener,
Yes.
too. She must have got that from you.
Oh, my goodness. Well, yes, she did, as a matter of fact. We have other members in our family that don't listen quite so well. We're not going to go any further with that. So, yeah, so he is a good listener as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, you know him quite well.
Yes.
Jane,
Since they were 3 and 5 years old, or 3 and 4 years old, yeah.
they grow up quickly, don't they, Jane? Oh, my gosh, it makes me feel so old. Jane Walt's with us now this morning. Okay, Jane, what are you going to read?
I'm going to read Horton Hatches the Egg because I think it's a cute, funny book.
All right.
It says, sighed Maisie, a lazy bird hatching an egg. I'm tired and I'm bored and I've kinks in my leg. From just sitting here day after day. It's work. How I hate it. I'd much rather play. I'd take a vacation, fly off for a rest, if I could find someone to stay on my nest. If I could find someone, I'd fly away free. Then Horton the elephant passed by her tree. Hello, called the lazy bird, smiling her best. You've nothing to do, and I do need a rest. Would you like to sit on the egg in my nest? The elephant laughed. Why, of all silly things, I haven't feathers and I haven't wings. Me on your egg? Why, that doesn't make sense. Your egg is so small, ma'am, and I'm so immense. Tut, tut, answered Maisie. I know you're not small, but I'm sure you can do it. No trouble at all. Come, be a good fellow. I know you won't mind. I can't, said the elephant. Please, begged the bird. I won't be gone long, sir. I give you my word. I'll hurry right back, while I'll never be missed. Very well, said the elephant, since you insist. You want a vacation, go fly off and take it. I'll sit on your egg and I'll try not to break it. I'll stay and be faithful, I mean what I say. Toodaloo, sang out Maisie and fluttered away. The first thing to do, murmured Horton. Let's see. The first thing to do is to prop up this tree and make it much stronger. That has to be done. Before I can get on it, I must weigh a ton. Then carefully, tenderly, gently he crept up the trunk to the nest where the little egg slept. Then Horton the elephant smiled. Now that's that. And he sat, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. And he sat all that day, and he kept the egg warm. And he sat all that night through a terrible storm. It poured and lightning, it thundered, it rumbled. This isn't much fun, the poor elephant grumbled. I wish she'd come back, 'cause I'm cold and I'm wet. I hope that Maisie bird doesn't forget. But Maisie, by this time, was far beyond reach, enjoying the sunshine way off in Palm Beach, and having such fun, such a wonderful rest, decided she'd never go back to her nest. So Horton kept sitting there day after day, and soon it was autumn. The leaves blew away, and then came the winter, the snow and the sleet. The icicles hung from his trunk and his feet. But Horton kept sitting and said with a sneeze, I'll sit on this egg and I won't let it freeze. I meant what I said and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. So poor Horton sat there the whole winter through, and then came the springtime, with troubles anew. His friends gathered round, they shouted with glee, Look, Horton the elephant's up in a tree. They taunted, they teased him. They yelled, How absurd! Oh, Horton the elephant thinks he's a bird. They laughed, and they all ran away. And Horton was lonely, he wanted to play. But he sat on the egg and continued to say, I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. and elephants faithful 100%. No matter what happens, this egg must be tended, but poor Horton's troubles were far, far from ended. For while Horton sat there so faithful, so kind, 3 hunters came sneaking up softly behind. He heard the men's footsteps. He turned with a start. 3 rifles were aiming right straight at his heart. Did he run? He did not. Horton stayed on that nest. He held his head high and he threw out his chest. He looked at the hunters as much as to say, "Shoot if you must, but I won't run away. I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful, 100%. But the men didn't shoot, much to Horton's surprise. They dropped their 3 guns, and they stared with wide eyes. "Look!" they all shouted. "Can such a thing be? An elephant sitting on top of a tree? It's strange, it's amazing, it's wonderful, new. Don't shoot him, we'll catch him. That's just what we'll do. Let's take him alive, why, he's terribly funny. We'll sell him back home to a circus for money." And the first thing he knew, they had built a big wagon with ropes on the front for the pullers to drag on. They dug up his tree and put it inside, with Horton so sad that he practically cried. "We're off," the men shouted, and off they all went, with Horton unhappy 100%. Up out of the jungle, up into the sky, up over the mountains 10,000 feet high, then down, down the mountains and down to the sea, went the cart with the elephant, egg, nest, and tree. Then out of the wagon and onto a ship, out over the ocean, oh, what a trip. Rolling and tossing and splashed with a spray, and Horton said day after day after day, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant, but oh, I'm seasick 100%. After bobbing around for 2 weeks like a cork, they landed at last in the town of New York. "All ashore!" the men shouted, and down with a lurch went Horton the elephant, still on his perch, tied to a board that he could just scarcely hold on. Bump, Horton landed, and then the men sold him. Sold to a circus, and week after week, they showed him to people at 10 cents a peek. They took him to Boston, to Kalamazoo, Chicago, Weehawken, and Washington, too, to Dayton, Ohio, St. Paul, Minnesota, to Wichita, Kansas, to Drake, North Dakota. And everywhere thousands of folks flocked to see and laughed at the elephant up in a tree. Poor Horton grew sadder the farther he went, but he said as he sat on the hot, noisy tent, "I meant what I said, and I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Then, one day, the circus show happened to reach a town way down south, not too far from Palm Beach, and dawdling a long way up high in the sky, who, of all people, should chance to fly by, but that old good-for-nothing bird, Runaway Maisie, still on vacation and still just as lazy. And spying the flags and the tents just below, she sang out, "What fun! Why, I'll go to the show!" And she swooped from the clouds through an open tent door. "Good gracious," gasped Maisie, "I've seen you before." Poor Horton looked up, his face white as chalk. He started to speak, but before he could talk, there rang out the noisiest, ear-splitting squeaks from the egg that he'd sat on for 51 weeks. A thumping, a bumping, a wild, alive scratching. "My egg!" shouted Horton. "My egg! Why, it's hatching!" "But it's mine!" screamed the bird when she heard the egg crack. The work was all done. Now she wanted it back. "It's my egg," she sputtered. "You stole it from me. Get off of my nest and get out of my tree." Poor Horton backed down with a sad, heavy heart. But at that very instant, the egg burst apart, and out of the pieces of red and white shell, from the egg that he'd sat on so long and so well, Horton the elephant saw something whiz. It had ears and a tail and a trunk just like his. And the people came shouting, "What's all this about?" They looked and they stared with their eyes popping out. Then they cheered and they cheered and they cheered more and more. They'd never seen anything like that before. "My goodness, my gracious," they shouted. "My word, it's something brand new. It's an elephant bird." And it should be like that, because Horton was faithful. He sat and he sat. He meant what he said, and he said what he meant. And they sent him home happy 100%.
All right, Jane Waltz. That's a good one. Horton Hatches the Egg. So thank you, Jane. Very nice. All right.
Real quick before we read the last book, first of all, we wanted to say thank you for everyone that tuned in today. If you send a picture of you reading or listening, listening, or you can be reading also.
You can read along with.
And send it to KCSI.
contest at kcsifm.com.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yep.
And we will be we'll be doing a drawing, and then we have some free books that we'll be delivering. And I also wanted to just let you know, if you have any ideas for Altrusa Club to help promote literacy in your school, in your community, let us know. But thank you for listening today.
Absolutely. Jane Waltz, Jen Bruce, and Monica Blay. Monica, what are we going to read today, Monica?
We are going to read Mr. Brown Can Move. Can you?
All right.
Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. He can go like a cow. He can go moo moo. Mr. Brown can do it. How about you? He can go like a bee. Mr. Brown can buzz. How about you? Can you go buzz buzz? He can go like a cork. Pop, 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 pop. He can go like horse feet. Clop, clop, clop. He can go eek, eek like a squeaky shoe. He can go like a rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. He can go like an owl. Hoo, 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 hoo. Eek, eek. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Hoo, 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 hoo. How about you? He can go like the rain. Dibble, 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 dop. Dibble, 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 dibble. Dop, dop, dop. He can go like a train. Choo, 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 choo. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Moo, moo, buzz, buzz, pop, pop, pop. Eek, eek, hoo, hoo, clop, clop, clop. Dibble, dibble, dop, dop, cock-a-doodle-doo. Mr. Brown can do it. How about you? Mr. Brown can whisper, whisper, very soft, very high, like the soft whisper of a butterfly. Maybe you can too. I think you ought to try. He can go like a horn, blurp, 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 like a big cat drinking, slurp, slurp, slurp. He can go like a clock, he can tick, he can tock. He can go like a hand on a door, knock, knock, tick, tick, or tick, tock, knock, knock, knock. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Blurp, blurp, slurp, slurp, cock-a-doodle-doo. Knock, 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 and hoo, hoo, hoo. He can even sizzle, sizzle. He can do that too, like an egg in a frying pan. How about you? Mr. Brown is as smart as they come. He can do hippopotamus chewing gum. Grum, 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 grum. Mr. Brown is so smart, he can even do this. He can even make a noise like a goldfish kiss. Boom, 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 Mr. Brown is a wonder. Boom, 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 Mr. Brown makes thunder. He makes lightning, splat, 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 and it's very, very hard to make a noise like that. Oh, the wonderful things Mr. Brown can do. Moo, moo, buzz, buzz, pop, pop, pop. Eek, eek, hoo, hoo, clop, clop, clop. Dibble, dibble, dop, dop, cock-a-doodle-doo. Grum, 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 choo, choo, choo. Boom, boom, splat, splat, tick, tick, tock. Sizzle, sizzle, blurp, blurp. Knock, knock, knock. And a slurp and a whisper and a fish kiss too. Mr. Brown can do it. How about you? The end.
Wow. That took some practice to do that. Oh my goodness. So, well, very good. That's pretty remarkable, Monica, I have to say. Mr. Brown can moo, can you? Very good.
Yes.
All right. It is Read Across America Week, so hopefully people have had the opportunity and take the opportunity to maybe read to your kids or whoever you want to read to. I guess it could be anyone. It doesn't have to be your kids, right? So
you enjoyed being read to also.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this. I mean, I feel like I've had a fully enriching morning. So anything else we need to cover? Again, Jen Bruce with us this morning, Monica Blay, and Jane Waltz. Anything else we need to cover? Have we covered it?
I think we've covered it. We have 48 wonderful members, and we're always looking for more to join, and we love doing things to help in our community.
How can people reach out to you if they want to know more about Altrusa?
We have a Facebook page. It's Red Oak Altrusa International.
Very good.
I believe.
Search for
Altrusa International of Red Oak.
Okay.
There we go. They can search for us, or they can find us, I'm sure.
All right. So search for you, and if you would be willing to chat with anybody, I'd love to talk to them about
absolutely
all the great things you do. Very good. Thanks for stopping by, guys. It's been most enjoyable.
Thank you so very much.
All right. Make it a great day. Again, it is Read Across America Week, and this morning the Altrusa Club here in Red Oak. Jane Waltz and Jen Bruce and Monica Blay with us this morning. Thanks to all for stopping by.